Hi, my name's Diane Smith, and I was diagnosed with breast cancer 10 years ago last month. I actually was doing mammograms. I was 45 years old when I was diagnosed, and they all came back great. But I had a spot on my right breast that I just, it was clearly something was there. You could feel it. And to me, it was just ugly. So that's kind of what made me take it a step further to figure out, what this was. And sure enough, that's when I saw that doctor, he immediately did a biopsy and then, it came back positive and we started the treatment plan. Again, it was 10 years ago. They actually did surgery for me first. So I think I did surgery that October, like 30 days later. Within 30 days, went through all the testing and then did the surgery. I elected to remove just the one breast that was affected. Went through months of an insert placement to kind of, the skin was obviously very thin to build all of that up before I actually had the implant put in. And then after that started the chemo. I was very blessed in that the chemo they were able to do in my hand. I didn't have to do a port. Friends that would just come to those visits with me. And, it's not all bad to sit in a relaxing chair and, I hate needles, but once I got through that part, never really had a bad time about it. You were tired and didn't feel great for a few days after it, but again, I was 2 years into being a realtor then. And so, I was fresh and just really wanted to get out there. So I was blessed with my job and that it was winter and I had the tubes. They were still in for months to come with that infection. I don't say months to come, probably a month. But yeah, I would just suit up. I had little pockets and a jacket on and I would continue going out and showing houses and, with the cell phone, could sit in the chair and still respond to people via text and talk. And I just kept going and was blessed with friends helping with laundry. I think the hardest part was, for me, is showering and washing my hair. I remember that just being, but my kids then too were out, I think about it, we're only 10 and 12. And that was, to me, the worst part is when they came to visit me after the surgeries and seeing their faces. I was all hooked up with tubes and everything and, didn't, a lot of drugs probably, being a little goofy, and just the fear in their eyes, I think, told me, I gotta keep going, show them that this is not something that's gonna change my life. It's just a little challenge. We got to get through. And from there, I wasn't a big breast cancer advocate. Like I didn't do, the walks and all of those public things. But I talked to several people. And if I ever learn of someone being diagnosed, I always say, reach out. I'm happy to talk and answer any questions like that. But I had very strong faith, still do today. And I just feel like it happened for a reason. It was just a challenge to get through. Losing my hair, that wasn't fun, but it happened. Got a great wig, and eventually it came back, and it came back the exact same way it went out. Maybe a little more curly, but I just had great friends that we could make jokes about it. And go forward from there. The best advice I think I could give you is just don't let it be a showstopper. We've got great doctors out there. I knew I was in good hands between having the faith of them and God. I just trusted all of that and went forward. And all of a sudden, last week when I saw my oncologist, last month, and he said, it's been 10 years. I was like, wow, it went fast, and now I don't have to go to those annual appointments anymore. But the other thing too is I found it myself. Just you know your body. Just trust your instincts and ask questions if you've got any.